The following portion of the Arizona Daily Mix is sponsored on behalf of Aura by A1 Broadcast.
Each holiday, kids receive a lot of devices that have them spending more time online than parents would like. Well, yesterday, I talked with Dr. Scott Kollins, a clinical psychologist who is conducting a new study to determine the link between screen time and mental well-being for our children. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm glad we're talking about this, especially going into the new year, and that is tech and mental health and how the connection between these two are so important to people getting better. So let's talk a little about that.
Yeah, well, the evidence in terms of how tech use or social media use is related to kids' mental well-being, it's really mixed. And some experts think that it's the worst possible thing and it's the cause of mental health challenges in youth. Others say, wait a minute, it's way more complicated than that. It's more nuanced and it might even be positive for some kids. Where there is agreement, though, is the need for better research and better data, which is why we're launching a clinical study now to understand and clarify this link between device usage and mental health outcomes in kids.
Oh, man, this is so important. So let's talk about parents and them, of course, how can I say this? Taking the right way to promote digital wellness with their kids or even themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a great time of year to think about this. We're at the beginning of the year for all parents. I've firsthand experienced this, and with a 14 and a 12-year-old, is think about how do we promote good digital behavior. In general, we recommend 3 strategies. First is to talk openly with your kids about what they're doing, what they're seeing, how they're engaging with other peers online. That's really important. Second is to set up some pretty structured agreements about screen time limits, how much time they can spend on certain apps, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate in terms of behavior online. And of course, that's going to change as kids get older. And then the third strategy is to think about using a product like Aura's that helps to monitor and manage screen time limits, content filtering, and things like that.
Yeah, it's called just sit down and talk, play a game, have some fun. So as you said, you are a parent, and most parents out there probably are wondering what are the top concerns parents are having regarding this kind of digital tech.
Yeah, I think that the biggest challenge that we face as parents today is to understand in a digital world, how do we balance the need for privacy and independence that our kids have with the need for us to provide safety for them. Kids' jobs are to develop into their own independent beings, but our jobs are to make sure that they're safe as parents. And we need to answer the questions about who are they with, where are they, and what are they doing. And the challenge is that on a device, they could be sitting across the table from you, and you can't answer those questions. So really thinking about how do we build products, how do we think about managing their behavior in a way that allows us to get some insight into those questions while keeping that balance between privacy and safety in mind.
I like this. Well, the way that we grow is by, of course, getting involved. And you want parents to get involved with this study. How can they do that?
Yeah, I would love for parents to get involved, and it's simple. Go to our website. It's aura.com/techwise. The study is open to all families with kids between the ages of 8 and 17 who have their own smartphone. They sign up for the study. They get the Aura app, and they get a free subscription to that as part of the study, and then fill out surveys periodically, and parents and kids get compensated for their time.
I like that. Okay, any other quick advice you have for parents and children right now?
No, just let's start the year off right, and let's think about how we can play an important role into keeping our kids safe online and managing their behavior. Set good examples ourselves with our own tech usage, and think about how what we need to do to help set those screen time limits, et cetera.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's very important. Okay, remind people again where they can go and find information about being a part of the study, and also just about everything you're teaching parents about this, tech wellness.
Yeah, aura.com/techwise.
Perfect. Hey, doctor, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix was sponsored on behalf of Aura by A1 Broadcast.